I'd like to call this meeting to order, Cundy County Council meeting, December 1st, 2020. And it's right at 6 p.m. Begin with public comment session. We don't have anybody that's signed up. If you'd like to come forward and speak, you can at this time. Any written comments can be delivered to Ms. Smith. All right. Any council member comments at this time?
Yes, sir, Mr. Davis. It's come to my attention, of course, everybody knows this, we're paying, what, a meal to Tri-County Tech? Is it a meal?
The Tri-County Tech Fund,
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's 3.2 mils.
Okay.
3.1 popped in my head, but yeah.
All right.
3.1 or 3.2, would you like me to go pull that up?
No, it's not, that's not important. The point I'm trying to make is they're supposed to be meeting the needs of industry. I get a call, was it last week, the week before? Spartanburg County is paying this other guy who used to work on molding machines here, as a private individual, to drive all the way to Spartanburg to teach molding machine operation. And it's reached pretty rough here in Oconee County because at certain plants, I won't name the plants, I go in, other plants, the people are retiring. There's nobody, and running a molding machine is not just flipping the switch. There's a lot to look at. There's a lot going on there. An operator that varies or doesn't pay attention can cost thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of damage by not knowing what's going on. So he went to Tri-County Tech here, asked the higher-ups there, he said, we're not interested. Not interested. Then, how many years ago has it been, Ms. Brock, that you and I went to Tri-County Tech? You took me out there.
What, 2 years, 2.5 years,
Yeah,
I think so?
that's about right. And we went into the room in there, and the guy said, this is our CNC machine tool. I said, no, it's not. Those ain't nothing but manual machines with digital readouts on them. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
And then over in the corner, there was a real nice, expensive milling machine with the table run all the way down to the end. I said, why are you doing that? I said, you move that table, that's a dry start. You don't never leave a table like this. Then I asked the question, who is teaching the course? I'd sooner find the Dead Sea Scrolls. To this day, we have not found the person. Then I asked the question. I said, where did he serve his 6 years? To call yourself a machinist, I'm a real machinist. When I moved up here, there was about 12 of us. We're dying like flies. You got to have 6 years in an associate in math or industrial arts. I said, and Ms. Brock was right there. I said, where did the guy get his 6 years? Well, he took a couple of courses in college. He's an operator. He's not a real machinist. Machine tool, Michelin has now got a apprentice program, manual machines. They've had it for two and a half years now. It's on the news. It's becoming a big success because they see the need for fulfilling their needs. They ain't worried about Oconee County. They worried about Michelin. Can't blame Michelin. They're successful. The question I'm asking is, I can't even get a syllabus of that machine tool program. And then I find out that the Megatronics, they're on the lab instructor to dumb it down, who also is a friend of mine. This has nothing to do with county council. It's just something the public needs to know about it. We spending all that money. And we got kids, the good jobs out there, but we can't fill the jobs if you don't know how to do it. And that's the point I'm trying to make. And I appreciate y'all's time.
All right. Any other council member comments? Moment of silence. Thank you. Mr. Root?
Yes, sir. Pray with me if you'd like to.
Father, thank you for this day that you've made, that you've given to us. It's a gift. Help us to appreciate it, to appreciate all of your good gifts, the air we breathe, the food you give us, all of your provision, and the fellowship we have with one another and with you. Help us, especially during this time of year, when folks tend to hole up inside, it's cold outside, and isolate perhaps, to reach out, really to be motivated to reach out to our neighbors, to love our neighbors, to do what you would have us do, to spread kindness and love during this time. It's been a calamitous year. Really just help us to finish strong, to bring some peace by our efforts and by the work of this council. And may this be your meeting. In your name I pray, amen.
Mr. Kane, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, sir. We do have a correction in the minutes to note. This is the corrected dates for November 17, 2020 minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Changes, amendments? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Ms. Brock,
I
Administrator?
have no update this evening.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Root?
Yes, sir. Two things, Mr. Chairman. One, we have two items listed for executive session. Both economic development matters, Project Rise and Project Rosen. We need a motion to amend the agenda to remove those items. We don't need the executive session at all this evening.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
The second matter relates to Ordinance 2020. This is the restated and amended fee agreement with BASF. And we're going to have a public hearing on this, so I just want to go ahead and state the motion that I would like once we get to the actual reading on the ordinance. In section 418, we want to add language, and it's reflected in the backup material, that states clearly that the special source revenue credit is triggered when the investment is made without regard to depreciation. It's just really a clerical matter that we want to add to this section of the fee agreement to make it clear that the company doesn't have to battle against this depreciation that it takes in order to fulfill the investment requirements. So when we get to that, I'll make that motion, I'll read it out, and y'all can make it, but I want to make that clear in case we have any public that want to speak to this order.
Okay. All right. Mr. Kane?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve proclamation 2020-11. And I would like to, I guess, should we read it first? Okay, I'll go ahead and read this. A proclamation honoring the Seneca High School girls cross-country team as state champions. Whereas the Oconee County Council acknowledges that sports and other recreation activities are beneficial for the health, general welfare, and overall sense of community of Oconee County citizens. And whereas the SC High School League 3A cross-country state qualifiers were run Friday, October 30th, 2020 in Columbia. And whereas the two-time defending state champion Seneca High School girls cross-country team has realized an exceptional accomplishment in winning the 2020 3A even race. And whereas council wishes to recognize Carson Tao, Lexi Ransom, Nicole Fagan, Michaela Collins, Ava Nimmons, Avery Shuey, and Sydney Doyle, and the hard work and dedication displayed by the Seneca High School girls cross-country team for their athletic achievement. Now, therefore, we, the Oconee County Council, extend our congratulations to the athletes and coaches of the Seneca High School girls cross-country team for their outstanding performance in the 2020 South Carolina State 3A Championship meet, approved and adopted the 17th day of November 2020.
All in favor? Aye. Y'all will come forward real quick, we'll stay, because if y'all would come forward and spread out here, we'll take a quick picture. Oh, you can go down, we'll stand up here just so we don't.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
You're down here.
What do we do hands? Up behind or in front?
Congratulations.
Hands behind?
It may not, maybe more difficult to get them all.
Mr. Root, will you pull that out of the way?
I hope I pronounced y'all's names right.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I guess we have a couple. Okay, yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Kane, would you like to get in the photo as well?
Sure.
I realize it's COVID, but one more step in. What's right? Perfect. Y'all got it? Got it? Thanks, Sean.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank y'all. Congratulations.
All right. We'll move to open up public hearing for the following ordinance. Ordinance 2020-20, ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of an amended and restated fee in lieu of tax agreement between Oconee County, South Carolina and BASF Corporation, the granting of a special source credit and other matters related thereto, including without limitation payment and fee in lieu of taxes. No one signed up for public hearing. If you'd like to come forward, you can. Any written comments can be delivered to Ms. Smith. I'll move to close public hearing on ordinance 2020. Third reading on ordinance 2020-20, Mr. Root.
If we could have someone make a motion and a second, so we bring it to the table, then I'll introduce a motion to amend.
So move.
Second.
We need a motion to amend ordinance 2020 so that the amended and restated fee agreement, specifically section 4.18, states that the taxable investment requirements for the SSRC shall be determined without regard to depreciation.
So move.
Second.
Okay. We have the amended motion back on the floor.
Well, we still have to vote on the amended motion. The motion
Any
to
other?
amend.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So we have the amended motion on there. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Second reading, following ordinance, ordinance 2020-21, ordinance authorizing the approval of one, development of a new joint county industrial business park, Friendship Court property pursuant to section 4-1-170, Code of Laws of South Carolina of 1976 in conjunction with Anderson County. Two, the execution and delivery of a written park agreement with Anderson County as a requirements of pay and fee in lieu of tax. And three, the distribution of revenues from the park to the counties and relevant taxing entities. And four other matters related thereto. No motion to approve?
Make a motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second. And as Mr. Kane stated, this is the 1% that is requirement from a investment from a surrounding county. We do the same back to Anderson and Pickens County as well. So I appreciate him stating that, but I'd like to state that again. This is not a joint park. This is a requirement as it states in here. All right, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. First reading of the following ordinance, ordinance 2020-23, ordinance granting certain easement rights to the city of Seneca at the Seneca Rail Park for the purpose of constructing, maintaining, and operating pipelines, manholes, and related items for the purpose of conveying potable water, sanitary sewage, industrial waste, and other matters related thereto. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I just have one thing, I was contacted by some members of the sewer authority, of course, I don't know anything about how they work, and they're expressing concerns that based on flow, they're worried about Seneca getting the upper hand in the future and controlling the entire county. because they'll have all the votes. That's the only thing they asked me to bring up. There you go.
Mr. Chairman. This thing said that C exhibit, I think it was E or something. I never did have one in my backup material.
It's Exhibit A. The easement agreement is, let's say, the one that I was given isn't, it's not bad for the county, it just wasn't the kind of easement agreement I'd want the county to sign. So I marked it up, redlined it pretty substantially and gave it back to them, and I haven't received it back yet. So we'll have it for second reading, but it just needed to have some terms that are more favorable to the county, I think.
I looked at the tax map and I didn't know whether it was referring to the tax map as this exhibit or what.
Yeah, no, it's the easement agreement that we'll have for second and third.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yeah.
First and only reading of the following ordinance 2020-22E, emergency ordinance requiring individuals to wear face coverings in certain facilities owned and operated by Oconee County and other matters related thereto. These are county facilities. This is not outside of county-owned facilities. Do I have a motion to approve the extension?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to extend. Any discussion?
Just one thing, Mr. Chairman. We're requiring to wear a mask inside of your facilities. Do we give them any instruction on, if you pull the mask down like this and put it back up, it's already contaminated? You touch the mask like this, you've contaminated the mask. Are we giving them instruction on the proper use of the mask?
For county employees?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. County employees have been instructed on how to properly wear a mask.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
The public, of course, obviously, we're not supposed to totally tell them what to do. And the idea behind the face coverings is not the touching of the contamination, it's that you can't touch your mouth when you have your mask on. You can't.
Yeah, but if you got the cooties on you, for no better word. That's what they use in Colombia now. I mean, down there, they call it the cootie. And they say, and you touch the mask, and the cooties is wet, it goes through your mask, and you got it. And that was a big thing brought up down there. That's all.
Right. I think this is just our best attempt in protecting ourselves and each other, citizens, guests, and the public. Anyone who enters into a county facility, otherwise a county rented or leased facility, even outdoors in certain areas where the proximity between human beings is less than 6 feet. It's a protective matter, and it's just a step in that right direction. But no, we have not tried to educate the public on not touching, but that's not a bad idea for us to start.
I mean, I'm thinking about somebody, you say, okay, you wear the mask, and you tell them, well, you can be safe, and then they get the cooties, and then they say, you told me to wear a mask, I wouldn't get cooties, and then they say, I'm down on all nines now. That's the only concern I have. It's trivial, but it's still a concern.
Understood. Thank you, sir.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No? No first and final. Mr. McCall, committee report, law enforcement, public safety.
Yes, sir, and I have my glasses tonight. So, we met November 17th, an update regarding expansion of the general health care. Caitlin Kickham, is that pronounce that right? That's her new name. Nurse practitioner, director and outreach of wellness. I'm gonna summarize this real fast. They're moving ahead, and they approached us about possibly in the future using the second floor for lab and other expanded services. What they're doing, they're partnering with the medical university. This is for everybody in the county. You walk in, hopefully, when they get it staffed, it'll be staffed 5 days a week. Was it after the first year, she said?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is good for everybody, old people, you're not gonna be strapped with the hospital. You go to any doctor in Prisma, and you don't pay the bill, they come in after you. This is an alternative. It also treats 7,000 plus veterans we have in this county and growing. County employees that, I'll use the example, that retire from the sheriff's department, they got a gap. There's no insurance till they're 65. So they can go there. Everybody can go there. It's a great thing, and these people are really doing a wonderful job for this county. The next thing, committee took no action on this matter. It was mostly information, all of it good. Sheriff Crenshaw addressed the committee noting the shortage of deputies. He noted business, churches have requested additional deputies, especially during the holiday season. Discussion continued. Sheriff made very valid points. We need more deputies. Got to have them. Committee took no action to this. We had an update regarding food donations, local nonprofits and grocery stores. Ms. Brock and the attorney did a fantastic job, also noting that one grocery store, who I'll not name, is a Scrooge. And I want to thank all the charities that are trying to help people in this time. Food banks, they're doing a great job, and I want to commend every one of them. And I also want to commend the administrator and the county attorney for going out of their way for looking all this stuff up for me. Thank you. That was the end of the report.
Mr. Coon?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On November 17th, 2020, at 5:00 PM, the Planning and Economic Development Committee met. First on our agenda was discussion regarding land use planning in relation to gun ranges and ancillary uses. Mr. Elliott led this discussion, noting a recent shooting range was being developed near Salem's residential agricultural area in a control-free district. At a previous planning commission and county council meeting, several citizens came forward to ask what could be done to address this. Current zoning matrix in Chapter 38 either prohibits in some districts or requires a special exception hearing before the Board of Zoning Appeals. There is no restriction on such facilities in control-free districts. Mr. Elliott made a motion, seconded by Mr. Davis, to direct staff to prepare recommended language or to discuss preparing recommended language to extend the special exemption requirement for gun and archery clubs and shooting ranges to the control-free district and return to the next Planning and Economic Development Committee meeting. Discussion continued to include that shooting range will be located near agricultural and residential property, could potentially be noisy and unsafe in other areas in the county that are remote, that a shooting range would be more appropriate. But Mr. Elliott then made a motion to table his motion, which was approved 3-0, and that will come up at our next Planning Economic Development Committee meeting on December 15th, 5:00 PM. Then we discussed corridors along Highways 130, 183, and 188 with regard to signage. The comprehensive plan strategy number 11.1.4.2 refers to byway signage, and Mr. Elliott requested to rename it to the Lake Corridor, defining the Lake Corridors as Highway 130 from Seneca city limits to Salem city limits, Highway 183 from Pickens County line to intersection of Highway 183 and 188, and the intersection of Highway 183 and Highway 188 to Highway 28. Mr. Elliott made a motion, seconded by Mr. Davis, approved 3-0 for the Destination Oconee Byway draft sign ordinance to be referred to staff for development of a suitable finished ordinance and return the same to Planning and Economic Development Committee for review and possible referral to full council. Next up, Mr. Adam Chapman discussed development standards and noted the Planning Commission has worked for several meetings regarding development standards and gave a brief overview. Mr. Elliott made a motion, seconded by Mr. Davis, approved 3-0 to refer the development standards to full council for consideration. finally, Ms. Annie Caggiano, the Oconee Economic Alliance President, addressed the committee and gave a brief presentation on the 2020 economic development activity. Again, there will be another meeting of the committee December 15th, 2020, 5 o'clock p.m. That's the same Tuesday as the second council meeting this month. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. We have no board and commission appointments right now, and we have removed executive session. Do I have a motion to adjourn?